All right, so we're diving into skills needed for success today.
Okay.
And we've got a couple sources.
Yeah.
A GQ Spain article,
Mm.
and then a deeper analysis.
Right.
So if you're listening and you're looking to unlock your potential,
Oh, okay.
achieve some serious success,
Yeah.
we're going to break it down for you
Awesome.
in a way that you can actually use.
And I think what's interesting about both of these sources is that
Yeah.
they really focus on this not being like a quick fix,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
actually building the skills
Yeah.
for long-term success.
So the GQ article kicks things off with teamwork.
Okay.
And I know some people out there,
Right.
they thrive working solo.
Sure.
But the article makes a really strong case for teamwork
Yeah.
being essential in today's world.
Yeah. And the why is so important here.
Yeah.
It's not just about, being a good collaborator.
Yeah.
Teamwork allows you to access
Yeah.
a whole pool of different skills.
Oh, totally.
Different experiences.
Yeah. I mean, the analysis document even uses this example
Okay.
of a tech startup
Okay.
that brought together coders, marketers, designers.
Yeah.
Their combined expertise led to this
Right?
super successful product launch
Yeah.
that they never could have done if
What?
they were just working individually.
Makes total sense.
You see, that's the power
Yeah.
of bringing different minds together.
Absolutely. And think about it. Like,
Yeah.
have you ever been part of a group project that actually went well?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It probably clicked because everyone had,
Yeah.
their roles were clear.
Right.
Communication was open.
Yeah.
You were all excited about the goal.
Absolutely. And the analysis document
Yes.
goes even deeper into specific actions you can take.
Okay.
Things like
Yeah.
setting really clear expectations from the beginning
We'll love it.
and celebrating wins together.
Yes.
These aren't just fluffy ideas.
Right.
These are strategies that high-performing teams use. I love that focus on action.
Yeah.
Because it leads right into the next skill,
Yeah.
problem solving.
Yeah. The GQ article talks about how being a creative problem solver can really help you stand out.
Especially in a competitive environment.
Especially in a competitive environment.
Right.
But the analysis document kind of takes it a step further.
Okay.
It suggests that we shift our perspective on problems entirely.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Yeah.
So it's not just about finding the solution.
Right.
It's about how you approach the problem.
Exactly. It's about developing that growth mindset.
Okay.
So the analysis document outlines this whole framework
Wow.
for problem solving
Okay.
that goes way beyond just putting out fires.
Right.
It encourages you to think about the root cause of the problem.
Okay.
Brainstorm tons of different solutions.
Yeah.
And even use those failures as opportunities to learn and improve.
It's such a shift
Yeah.
from how we usually think about problems.
It is.
You know?
Yeah.
Instead of being stressed and overwhelmed,
Right?
it's like you're turning a problem into a chance to level up.
Precisely.
I love that.
And, if we think about the world we live in today,
Yeah.
things are constantly changing, right?
Oh, for sure.
The GQ article even calls it a chameleon world.
Okay.
And honestly,
Yeah.
they're not wrong.
Yeah.
So this is where the next skill comes in.
Okay.
Flexibility.
Flexibility. Okay.
Absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to think flexibility was just about
Mhm.
being okay with last-minute changes.
Right.
But this article made me realize it's so much deeper.
Yeah.
The analysis document defines it as this combination of adaptability and resilience.
I love that they connect it to resilience.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about,
Right.
bending with the wind. It's
Right.
about bouncing back from those setbacks.
Yes.
Using those experiences to become even stronger.
And they even suggest
Yeah.
some tangible things you can do to build that flexibility.
Right.
Like
right.
practicing mindfulness.
Mindfulness. Yeah.
Seeking out new experiences.
That push you outside your comfort zone.
Okay, that's super helpful.
Yeah.
All right, deep divers.
Yeah.
Get ready for this next skill.
Right.
Because GQ Spain
Yeah.
calls it the most undervalued skill.
Interesting.
Emotional intelligence.
Or EQ.
EQ.
Yeah.
I'm curious
Yeah.
to hear your take on this.
Well, EQ has become much more recognized in the past few years, but
Yeah.
there's still this misconception that it's just about being nice.
Right.
But the analysis document really breaks down
Good.
why emotional intelligence is
Yeah.
so critical.
Yeah.
It's about understanding your own emotions, managing them,
Okay.
but it's also about recognizing and empathizing
Right.
with the emotions of other people.
Right.
And that's where
Yes.
real leadership potential lies.
It's like, think of a leader you really admire. Chances are,
Yeah.
they're not just a
Yeah.
brilliant strategist.
Right.
they're also really good at connecting with people.
Yeah.
On an emotional level.
Exactly.
Right.
And the analysis document goes on to give specific actions you can take to boost your EQ.
Yeah.
Things like practicing active listening, developing your self-awareness, learning how to give constructive feedback.
Wow.
These are skills that benefit you in every area of your life.
It's almost like emotional intelligence is the foundation.
I think so.
For everything else.
Yeah, I agree.
And speaking of foundations,
okay,
that brings us to our final skill.
All right.
That's highlighted in both sources.
Okay.
Communication.
Communication.
GQ article frames it as the bridge.
Okay.
That connects all the other skills.
That makes sense.
Right?
Okay.
Because without clear and effective communication, teamwork crumbles.
Yeah.
Problem-solving stalls. Emotional intelligence can't really flourish.
It's true.
Right.
And it's not just about being a smooth talker.
Right.
The analysis document digs into the nuances of communication.
Yeah.
Emphasizing active listening.
Right.
Tailoring your message to your audience.
Yeah.
Using both verbal and nonverbal cues effectively.
I think a lot of people underestimate the power of nonverbal communication.
It's huge.
Like your body language, tone of voice, all of that
plays a role. Right.
In how your message is received.
Absolutely. Think about a time when you had a miscommunication with someone.
Oh, yeah.
It probably wasn't just about the words that were said.
Right.
It was about how they were delivered.
Totally. And you know what? That actually reminds me of a story.
Okay.
But you know what? We should probably save that for after a quick break.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
All right.
To dive deeper into these fascinating skills.
Awesome. So we talked about these 5 key skills for success.
Okay.
Teamwork, problem solving, flexibility, emotional intelligence, and communication.
Right.
But I think what you're really looking for is like how to actually use these.
Right, exactly. I'm all about those actionable insights.
Okay.
You know, the GQ article,
Yeah.
it is a bit light on the specifics.
Right.
But it does highlight some interesting ideas.
Okay.
Like when it comes to teamwork, they emphasize recognizing and valuing the unique strengths that each person brings.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to like fit everyone into the same mold, you want to leverage those talents. To achieve a common goal.
I think that's so important. And the analysis document actually takes that concept a step further.
Okay.
It suggests things like clearly defining roles and responsibilities from the start.
Okay.
Making sure everyone has a voice, feels comfortable sharing their ideas.
Okay.
And fostering like a culture of mutual respect and support.
Which makes me think about like all those classic team building activities.
Well, yeah.
Like trust falls.
Right.
Communication puzzles.
Yeah.
They can be cheesy sometimes.
Right.
But they're designed to like build trust and help people work together more effectively.
You know, we might not be doing trust falls in our everyday life, but those principles are still relevant.
Totally.
So think about how you can apply those to your own work or personal projects.
That's a good point.
Like, do you understand your role?
Yeah.
How it contributes to the big picture?
Right.
Are you actively listening to the people you're working with?
Those are great questions to reflect on.
Yeah.
Speaking of questions,
let's
move on to problem solving.
All right.
GQ article really zeroes in
Yeah.
on being a creative problem solver,
Right.
thinking outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you actually get to that aha moment?
Well, that's where the growth mindset we talked about earlier really comes into play.
Okay.
You know, it's about seeing problems not as roadblocks,
Right.
but as opportunities to learn and develop new skills.
I love that.
And the analysis document provides this like step-by-step framework for tackling problems effectively. And it starts with something pretty simple.
Okay.
Clearly define the problem you're facing.
So not just jumping into solution mode,
Exactly.
but taking the time to actually understand the problem.
That's right.
Okay.
So then you move on to analyzing the potential causes. Brainstorming a variety of solutions.
Right.
Evaluating pros and cons of each option.
Okay.
And finally, implementing that chosen solution and tracking its effectiveness.
It almost sounds like a scientific experiment.
It kind of is.
Okay.
You know, you're forming a hypothesis, testing it out.
Right.
Analyzing those results.
Okay.
So the key is to approach problems with a sense of curiosity.
Yeah.
And a willingness to experiment.
Okay. And remember, those failures along the way are actually valuable data points.
I love that reframing of failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can help you refine your approach.
So we've talked about teamwork problem solving.
Yeah.
Now let's tackle flexibility.
All right.
The GQ article compares being flexible to a chameleon seamlessly blending into its environment.
Right.
And while we don't need to literally change colors, I get the point.
I get it.
Being able to adapt to new situations is crucial.
And this is where resilience comes in.
Yeah.
It's that ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to change, keep moving forward, even when things get tough.
Totally.
And the analysis document highlights some really practical ways to cultivate flexibility. Like being open to new ideas, being willing to learn from mistakes, and practicing mindfulness to stay grounded. Mindfulness for flexibility, that's an interesting connection.
Yeah.
It makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Because when you're more aware of your thoughts and emotions, you're less likely to get swept up in the stress of all those unexpected changes.
For sure. And that brings us to emotional intelligence, which the GQ article calls the secret weapon for success.
The secret weapon?
The secret weapon. So it's about being aware of managing your own emotions, but also understanding and empathizing with the emotions of those around you.
You know, I think a lot of people shy away from the idea of emotional intelligence. Because they think it means being overly sensitive or touchy-feely.
Right.
But the way you're describing it, it sounds more like a superpower.
I like that.
That helps you navigate complex social situations, build stronger relationships.
A superpower.
Right.
And the best part is, it's a skill you can develop and hone with practice.
I love that.
So the analysis document breaks down emotional intelligence into several key components. Self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills.
Wow.
And by focusing on each of these areas, you can become more emotionally intelligent. And start to see that positive impact it has.
Makes sense.
On your interactions.
Okay, so we've covered teamwork, problem-solving, flexibility, and emotional intelligence.
Yes.
That leaves us with communication.
Right, which the GQ article describes as that bridge that connects all the other skills.
It's true, because without it, everything else starts to fall apart.
Absolutely.
Right.
Communication is the foundation of any successful relationship, team, or organization.
You're sure?
And the analysis document goes beyond just basic communication tips. It really delves into those different aspects of communication, from active listening, nonverbal cues, the importance of tailoring your message. It even talks about the power of storytelling.
Oh, storytelling. I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about spitting out facts and figures.
Exactly.
It's about connecting with people.
Yeah.
On an emotional level.
Right.
And making your message memorable.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up this section, I think it's important to remember that these 5 skills aren't isolated entities.
Right.
They work together synergistically.
Right. It's like they reinforce each other.
They do.
Strong communication skills.
Yeah.
Enhanced teamwork.
Yes.
Emotional intelligence helps you problem solve more effectively. Flexibility allows you to adapt your communication style to different situations.
It's like this beautiful web.
Oh, I love that.
Where each strand is interconnected, strengthens the overall structure.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
So by developing each of these skills, you're essentially creating this powerful foundation for achieving your goals.
That's right.
Unlocking your full potential.
And that's what this deep dive is all about.
Before we sign off,
we
have one final piece of wisdom to share. So we've explored these 5 key skills for success. Teamwork, problem-solving, flexibility, emotional intelligence, and communication.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
What's that?
Knowing about them isn't enough.
Right, you have to actually use them.
You got to use them.
That's where the magic happens.
Put them into practice.
Putting those skills into practice.
In your daily life.
In your daily life.
I love how the analysis document frames it as like an ongoing experiment.
Right.
You try out different techniques. See what works for you.
Right.
And adjust your approach along the way.
You don't have to be perfect right away.
Takes the pressure off.
Exactly.
And what's really important to remember is there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
Right.
What works for one person may not work for another.
So true.
The key is to find what resonates with you.
Okay, so for someone who's feeling inspired and wants to level up their skills, where do they even begin?
Well, the GQ article encourages readers to be proactive, seek out those opportunities for growth.
Okay, so like...
Whether that's taking courses, attending workshops, reading books, or even just observing people who excel in these areas.
I love taking ownership of your own development.
Taking ownership.
But the analysis document goes a step further.
It does. It provides some concrete actions you can take for each skill.
Give us some examples.
For example, to improve teamwork.
Yeah.
They suggest setting clear goals from the outset.
Love that.
Establishing those effective communication channels. And celebrating team accomplishments, big and small.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about problem solving?
For problem solving, they recommend developing a systematic approach.
Okay.
So break down those challenges into smaller steps.
Right.
And seek out diverse perspectives.
Okay.
To get a fresh take on the situation.
So it's about having a process.
Yeah.
But also being open.
Being open.
And different viewpoints.
Different viewpoints, exactly.
What about flexibility?
Flexibility.
Any practical tips there?
The analysis document emphasizes embracing change. Being open to new ideas and learning to adapt your approach as needed.
So being adaptable.
They even suggest trying new things that push you outside of your comfort zone.
Okay.
That's a great way to build resilience.
I can see how that would force you to be adaptable.
It does.
Okay. Emotional intelligence. How can someone work on that?
Emotional intelligence?
Yeah.
The document highlights self-reflection.
Okay.
Taking the time to understand your own emotions, how they impact your behavior.
Makes sense.
Mindfulness practices can be super helpful for building self-awareness and emotional regulation.
So it's about understanding yourself first.
Yeah.
And then using that.
Then use that.
To connect with others.
To connect with others, exactly.
And finally, communication.
Communication, the document stresses active listening.
Oh, yeah.
Really tuning in to what the other person is saying, both verbally and non-verbally.
Okay.
It also emphasizes clear and concise messaging and tailoring your communication style to your audience.
That's so important.
It is.
It's not just about getting your point across.
Right.
It's about making sure it's heard and understood.
It's heard and understood.
So to wrap up.
Yeah.
Sounds like developing these 5 skills. It's an ongoing journey.
It is.
It's about making those small, consistent efforts.
Small, consistent efforts.
Over time.
And as you start to integrate those skills into your life, you'll notice a ripple effect.
Okay.
Your relationships might improve. Your work might become more fulfilling.
Right.
You might even feel a greater sense of purpose and direction.
So as we bring this deep dive to a close, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
Success isn't just about achieving a goal or reaching a destination.
It's not just about the destination.
It's about who you become along the way.
It's about the journey.
It's about the growth.
The growth.
The learning, the connections you make.
It's about becoming the best version of yourself.
That's right.
Personally and professionally.
And remember, it's a lifelong pursuit.
Yeah.
There's always room for growth and improvement.
So keep learning.
Keep learning.
Keep practicing.
Keep practicing.
And keep striving to unlock your full potential.
Unlock your full potential.
And who knows?
Well,
maybe we'll revisit some of these skills in future deep dives.
Until then, happy diving.
Happy diving.